So on my haven't filed taxes in years video, Thanos Forever asks, can I file this current year and then file the previous 2 years I'm missing? Basically, can I file my back tax returns out of order? The answer to that question, Thanos, is yes, you can. There's nothing that says you can't. Now, one thing I would say, well, actually I have a lot of things to say, but the first thing I would say is you got to be careful because sometimes older tax years can affect your current year's tax return. For example, let's say you lost $10,000 in the stock market or crypto. Let's say crypto. Let's say you lost $10,000 in crypto 2 years ago. You didn't have any gains. You just lost money. So what happens to that? So you can take it. You can first your capital losses offset your capital gains. But if you have no more capital gains to offset any remaining capital losses, you can take as a $3,000 deduction against your other income. So let's say you had a $10,000 loss in 2021. Let's say. Okay, and you applied $3,000 against your 2021 other income. So now you have a $7,000 capital loss carry forward that you could carry forward to future years like 2022 if you're working on your 2022 tax return right now, right? And let's say you didn't have any gains or anything or losses in 2022. Well, you could still take that $7,000 capital loss carry forward and take $3,000 of it and subtract $3,000 from your ordinary income, your other income, to calculate your tax liability for the year. And now you have a $4,000 capital loss carry forward going into 2023. Okay, so that's just one example of how your previous year's taxes can affect your current year tax liability if you do them out of order, right? If you don't really think you have anything like that, your situation's fairly straightforward and simple. It's just a W-2, maybe a 1099 for interest and dividends. You'll probably be okay, right? And there are some cases for our clients when we do things out of order, to be frank. One example. Let's say that they're owed a refund for the recent years, but they will owe for the previous years. Depending on what the client situation, we might file those more recent years first, so they get that refund in their pocket. This is assuming there's no existing balance due, because the IRS would just apply that refund to the balance due anyway. But maybe we'll file those years so they can get their refund in their pocket, cash, and then we'll file the older years and deal with those. Especially good strategy if it looks like they're going to qualify for an offer in compromise or a PPIA or something like that, right? Because if we file the older years first, well, they would just zap those later years refund and apply it to that. But if we're getting them in an offer in compromise anyway, why do we want to do that, right? We don't want them to get the money in their pocket first and then file the older years and do an OIC on those, right? So this is kind of getting kind of advanced kind of strategies here, but it's just kind of see how nuanced this could be. I want to point this out. Another scenario in which we may do things out of order. We just had an individual who came to us who hadn't filed in several years, and they were in, let's see. So they came to us to file several years of tax returns. We did 2019 first, okay? Because they're going to owe for 17 and 18, but then, they were going to get refunds for 19, 20, and 21, and 22, I believe. But we really want to get 19 done first. Why? Because they were owed a refund for 2019. And the refund statute expiration date was coming up. So they had filed an extension for tax year 2019, which extended their refund statute expiration date to October 15th, 2023, okay, because it's 3 years from the due date and extensions count, right? So they had originally extended their 2019 tax return due date, because of COVID, it was like July 15, 2020, but they filed an extension by July 15, 2020 to get an extension to October 15, 2020. 3 years from October 15, 2020 is October 15, 2023, right? And obviously if there's weekends in there that those count, those would extend it if the 15th is on a weekend or whatever. So it was imperative, and they came to us in like late September. So it was imperative that we get that 2019 return done first to get that refund in their pocket, or they would lose it, right? If we started doing things sequentially, okay, we got to get through 17, which might take us a couple of weeks, 18, which might take a couple of weeks. We could have lost the 2019, refund because we would have missed the refund statute expiration date, right? So Thanos, to answer your question, yes, there's nothing that says you can't, but there are sometimes considerations that have to be made before doing this to make sure that this is in your best interest, right? Or that it's it doesn't matter, right? So, but good question. That is a great question. If you've gone behind your tax return filings, we can help. That is something we do routinely at Choice Tax Relief. I have some videos, a whole playlist, as a matter of fact, about folks who have gotten that's made for folks who have gotten behind their tax returns. That playlist is right here at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, and that haven't filed taxes in years video is at the upper left. That's the video that Thanos commented on. You need help with this stuff? Give us a call, 866-8000-TAX. Visit our website, choicetaxrelief.com. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.